I know. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Hang Outlander, episode 209. We may have just gone live and totally didn't hear what I just said in the beginning. Anyway, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are discussing tonight, as I said, Outlander episode 209, which was entitled Je suis pris, which is how I say it. Beth, how do you say it?
I don't know.
Okay, Julie, how do you say it?
Je suis pris. I don't know. It sounds like a Prius.
I have no idea. I'm not even going to try.
Jess, I'm coming back to you.
Okay. Je suis... Je suis prêt.
What?
Prêt.
Okay, I think it's je suis pris. Free? Whatever.
Je suis...
Yeah.
Prêt.
Please, somebody, actually us and tell us how to say it. Actually, I watched like 5 seconds of Ron's recap after the episode, and he doesn't know how to say it, so,
French is hard.
I know, it's hard. French is hard. French is terrible. Why would anyone want to speak it? Just kidding. I'm Becca. I am here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, drinking white wine, which is too sweet, but it's cold, and that is why I have it in my glass this evening. Beth?
Hey, guys. I'm Beth. I'm in Memphis, and it's balmy today. I think it was pretty hot. I had my air conditioning kind of blaring today, and I never do that. But I am also wearing a cardigan, so it worked out. I'm just having a little bit of a mixed red this evening.
Did you just mix it yourself?
No.
A little leftover cab, a little Shiraz? No.
It came like that. And my husband made spaghetti for dinner, so we had a mixed red. And, that's me tonight.
Good to see you. Jules?
Hi, I'm Julie. I also write for That's Normal, and I have in my Starbucks insulated cup, I have sparkling wine, because that's what fancy people do.
Ooh.
This was not from Starbucks, it was from some cheap bottle, but I'm not going to tell you the name of it because it's so bad. Like, I'm so embarrassed by this, so badly. So I'm going to pretend it's juice, but juice for adults.
Adult juice.
Aww.
Good. Tiff?
Hey, I'm Tiffany. I am drinking the fanciest drink alive with a straw, Dr. Pepper 10.
What is Dr. Pepper 10?
Like
What
Coke?
is that?
Yeah, it's like Coke 10.
10 calories?
Yeah.
Why would you need 10 calories? Just make it 0.
I don't know. It tastes better than Diet Dr. Pepper.
I do not support that.
I'm sorry.
I'm just saying.
Anyway, I'm in Washington, and it was 111 degrees today.
Oh my gosh.
So it's freaking hot.
You need
That's
to move.
insane.
No, I actually like the heat, but I got a sunburn on. Oh, you can't. I'm going the wrong way. I got a sunburn on Saturday, so I get one sunburn a year, and this was my inaugural sunburn for the year, and so it was too hot today to be outside. My skin felt like I was being lit on fire.
That's terrible.
So.
Well, it's a small crew tonight. We don't have any special guests because the ones that we had asked for this week couldn't make it, and we just did not get our shit together to ask anybody else. So you just got the That's Normal crew tonight, missing some usuals like Amy, who is in Germany. Hey, if you don't follow us on Snapchat, you should, because we're snapping even more than just on Saturday nights when Tiff does Snaplander. So our username is That's Normal. We'll link it down below. I'm going to try to remember to link it down below. And this week we have Laura on Snapchat, but Amy took over today and snapped drunkenly from Germany. So that's where this story is coming from. And Nikki's missing tonight, and I forget who else has joined us from our team. Heidi never has, but she's going to have to one of these nights.
But maybe next week she'll have an eye patch.
Yeah, I know. Heidi's having an eye issue, so we're hoping for a hot tartan eye patch. Okay, so this week, if you are watching us and interacting with us online, we are giving away something that I totally just spoiled because you can see it on the corner of my screen. The Outlander Kitchen Cookbook. If you are not familiar with this book, we were sent this lovely edition by Random House. It's very beautiful, actually. It's quite thick and heavy, just what you want in a book. And this is written by Outlander Kitchen. She goes by on the internet. And she has been making recipes that were described by Diana in the books for like, I don't know, I think 57 years or something like that. I don't know how long. I don't know. A long time, since like the beginning of the books came out, the movies. So I just said I was going to just turn to any random page and read you an example of the things you might find in this cookbook if you are lucky enough to win it tonight. Ooh. On page 204, there's a recipe for Oxford baked beans. It's from Drums of Autumn, chapter 22. And
ketchup and mustard in those baked beans?
I don't think so. There's dry white beans, vegetable oil, carrot, garlic, tomato sauce, brown sugar, Worcestershire sauce, paprika, butter. It just sounds like really good homemade baked beans. So awesome. Cool.
What makes them Outlander beans? Who makes beans?
So in each of her recipes, she has like the passage where it comes from. So that's why I made that face, because I was reading this wrong. Just some of the words that were used, it sounded like baked beans, like fart jokes, but it's not. He squelched up to his rooms and dropped his wet things in a heap on the floor. He dried himself, then sat naked on the bed, towel forgotten in his hand, staring at the desk and the box that held Brianna's letters. He would do anything to save her from his grief. He would do much more to save her from the stones. So we missed the part about the beans. I didn't read the whole thing.
I was going to say, does he then eat beans in his room?
I think it was getting dark by the time he returned to his rooms. He could hear, I think we're talking about Roger here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He could hear a clatter from the dining hall as he passed, and he smelled boiled ham and baked beans, but supper was the farthest thing from his mind. So I guess it's just food that's mentioned. It's not necessarily, like, this doesn't seem to be a big part of chapter 22 of Drums of Autumn.
Right. I knew that. Like, anytime there's any food mentioned, I think she goes out and finds how to make it.
I wonder if she's made, this actually sounds good. Old Ian's buttered leeks.
I think that's pretty cool, like, when it's, like, the old stuff.
Oh, and this was actually, because this was in this last episode, Fergus's roasted tatties, right? Didn't they talk about the not titties, tatties? There were actual potatoes discussed in this last episode, or that could have been 2 episodes ago.
It was 2 episodes ago, but that's okay. Tatties is a terrible word.
Terrible word.
No tatties.
Yes. Don't roast your tatties, ladies.
Like,
you could be. Tiff was roasting her tatties today.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, so anyway, talk to us online, tweet, make us laugh, make us cry, send us GIFs, and you could be the winner of the Outlander Kitchen Cookbook.
Not that the people that, listen to us probably haven't already ordered it. I mean, they're like, I don't know. You guys are probably like pretty important Outlander fans. You guys are in the know. You're friends with Teresa, right? Are you? I don't know.
I was muted. I'm sorry.
Are you asking us?
Yeah.
Or are you asking our viewers?
The viewers. Of course I already have a copy. I'm looking forward to making butter tarts. Have y'all ever had a butter tart?
No, but I did turn to that page in the book.
It's like a pecan pie, but with pecans.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Oh, man. It's delicious.
Y'all
say pecan? Pecan?
Pecan.
Pecan is completely wrong. You can say pecan, but not pecan.
You are outsplaining pecans to us right now.
Or you can say pecan for fun.
Okay, I promised our Twitter followers, due to Nikki's request, that we would open this evening discussing the beautiful photo that has arrived on the internet of Sam Heughan in a cowboy hat with a gentleman.
There's 2 of those, I think.
Yeah, I saw another one just come through. You haven't seen it, Tiff?
No.
Right,
Was it in our text?
I'll do a real quick screen share, but we can talk about it. Oh, God, There's 2 of them. Oh, this one's with William Shatner. Are they both William Shatner?
No, the first is not William Shatner.
Mm-mm.
Number 1, it looks like he's wearing a child-size Hanes 50/50 beefy tee. Why is this shirt so small?
Okay, so, oh God, you're right. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do a screen share. In case you haven't seen these yet, get excited. Here's the original. This is Nikki's request of us asking to talk about Cal Bay, Sam Heughan, with this Patriots fan. Just hanging out with the Patriots fan. And then there's this one with William Shatner.
Y'all,
You're
that
right.
hat does not look like it's really there. It looks
It looks
like
Photoshop.
it looks like it's an emoji.
You're right. In both pictures.
Yes.
Look at it here.
It definitely looks like one right there.
Like there is. I think these were photoshopped on.
That is totally photoshopped on. That is
It really looks it.
It's got it's perfectly outlined.
You are totally
Do it
right.
again. Do it again. Oh my
Yes, that one 100%
Yes.
is photoshopped on.
That's Photoshop.
This one is just a better Photoshop job, but the coloring has no shadows.
It had no shadows. I was about to say there's no shadows on it.
Somebody photoshopped a hat on Sam's head. Not once, but 2 times.
But Sam posted it. He photoshopped the hat on himself.
Can we also talk about Sam and the very 1990s turning his the sleeves of his T-shirt? Can you go back to the one of
Yeah,
those
okay,
photos?
so I'll go back. Go back.
Look at there's
totally dig it though.
look at him. Look at that
Yeah.
photo.
I'm okay with the rolled up sleeves.
I
But
know.
it's a little short. Look at it here.
It is. It's already short. He's
a
fine.
T-shirt needs to pop down a little bit. He needs the next size up.
That's why I said it looks like he's wearing a little boy's beefy tee. Does he have a long torso? My husband has a long torso.
It does look like it. But
Regular
it's
shorts
still
don't.
tight. Even up there, it's probably why he rolled it. They're probably so tight on his biceps.
That's true.
I'm not mad at it, you guys. I think it looks good.
Is that a sweat stain? Are those pecans under there?
Look how thin it is. He should be wearing those $140 white T-shirts that all the celebrities wear.
Yes.
That looks like Norm from Cheers.
And who is this Patriots fan?
That's Norm. It's Norm
And-
from Cheers. That's what it looks like.
His hat doesn't fit either.
Yeah,
No,
some
no,
of it is weird.
This
You're
is-
right. It doesn't really fit.
this
There is a
is-
shadow on this one, but it still doesn't look real.
No,
Can
it does
anybody
not.
tell us, anyone out there in the interwebs, tell us who photoshopped this weird hat on you?
First, okay, question number 1, who is this dude right here? Number
Here's-
2, yeah, are these hats photoshopped or not, and can you
Those
present
are
evidence?
Here's my
clearly-
theory. Here's my theory on the hats. I have thought for a long time that Sam has a Snapchat that nobody knows about, right? So he took that photo, he Snapchatted it, he put a little hat on himself, then he downloaded it and he tweeted it.
Do you think that's what the Snapchat hat looks like?
No, it's not, I don't think.
Well, the
It was just a
theory
fun theory.
not resolved.
You just really want to find a Snapchat.
I really want to know his Snapchat. You know he has one.
Yeah. I mean, everybody does. Sam Bradley from the Twilight world just joined Snapchat.
Of course
I
he
don't
did.
even know who that is.
Yes, you do.
Who
Sam
is he?
Bradley.
Remind me.
Earring and Mole, Sam Bradley.
Earring and Mole?
He wrote the song that Rob that he ended up singing on the Twilight soundtrack. and
Oh,
then he
wait.
became
It's like
famous.
one of Rob's friends.
Yes.
Not like somebody in Twilight.
Somebody in Twilight.
Oh, okay.
Sam Bradley, who's almost hooked up with 1 or 10 of all of our friends,
Yeah.
like at some point.
Yeah. People you know.
So I remember when everyone was going to see concerts,
Uh-huh.
and is he the one who just got his girlfriend pregnant or something?
No, that was Jackson Rathbone. No, Sam is having a baby.
Yeah.
I think they're engaged or married. They've been together for a while.
I'll go back to Twilight.
I love that Jackson
Forever.
Rathbone got a fan pregnant.
And again, they knocked her up again. They're having a second baby.
Well, they're married now,
Yeah.
but
Good
she'll
for her.
Boring.
yeah.
But
Sam,
really,
Outlander fans, you still have a chance.
you
It
totally have a
happens.
chance. In the Twilight world, there were multiple sexual encounters that we are aware of. I have
right.
heard details, and also one of them stuck. They're still together, and they're having a
Yeah.
second kid. So you can find one of those hooligans from, I forget their names. You know the one. Maybe that skinny one that had his shirt off and had the one that looked like this with his shirt off. What are their names?
Oh, the one. What?
I'm not talking about
Rupert?
Twilight. I'm talking about in
Rupert
Outlander.
and Angus?
Yes.
Yeah.
The little one with the hair. He was so skinny and he had his shirt off and he looked like he was 75, but not.
His body looked like it was collapsing in on him.
I don't even know who we're talking about.
Yes, you do.
Hey,
During
One
the
of Sam's-
shirtless scene.
The
one of
dad
Sam's
bod.
friends?
No, it's in Outlander. Rupert and Angus.
Oh, I don't
Angus.
care about them guys.
No.
So you two could get Angus to spill his seed inside of you and have his baby.
Isn't he missing teeth? He's missing teeth for real.
In real life?
Ew.
I don't know. How do you fake missing teeth in a show?
I think they black them
A
out.
black marker, a Sharpie.
We have an answer to, I'm calling it Hatgate, so hashtag Hatgate with Sam Heughan. And Martha Y says, I think the guy in the photo is Paul, William Shatner's Periscope videographer.
Oh my gosh, she has a guy who like follows him around all day and is his Periscope videographer.
Thank
As
you.
soon as you said Paul, I was like, William Shatner's lover, because that's such a William Shatner's lover's name. What a perfect name.
Laura Sue VT, Vermont, says there are about 100 fangirls who can tell us exactly who he is because they're already following him. So I guess he's also on Twitter.
I don't understand why he would follow William Shatner or anybody that he knows just because he talks to Sam. That is an odd thing to do.
You're totally right.
You should put up with everything else that William Shatner is going to say on Twitter. Once you're already a fan, that's just
Chuchulu also thought maybe it was a Snapchat filter.
yeah, it looks weird. That's
It
what it
looks
looks like, too, a filter.
Jamie Campbell was concerned because she said it looks like Shatner forgot to rub his sunscreen in all the way.
It did. He was all white-faced. All right, Cowbay, Sam Heughan.
All right.
Keep it up.
Well, that was. Were they doing something that was important that we totally missed because we couldn't stop staring at the hat?
No,
I think
no.
They're just hanging out.
they're just hanging out together. They're strengthening their bromance together. They're the new bromance. So they're the new Ben and Matt.
So weird.
So Sam is here in the United States of America.
Get ready. That's why Outlander fans go find him. You can
Oh,
follow
well,
him.
he said that Paley Fest thing tonight.
Yeah,
That was in L.A.
yeah.
Not many horses in L.A. Hope you guys found them.
Hopefully that picture was tweeted many hours after he left Shatner's property.
Yeah, hopefully he's
So that
learned
there
by now.
weren't
Oh, you
so
think
that
that's
there weren't some,
Mhm.
fastidious fans.
Yeah. Bakersfield Outlander
Following.
fans.
Right.
Anyway, so Outlander.
Guys, this is a good episode.
Yeah, it was a good
I was
episode.
into it.
It was.
Yeah, Beth wrote a great recap this week. She is a big fan of Matt Roberts. She's
And then
admitted-
somebody reminded me of like a ton of episodes that he wrote that were total shite. Like The Search was he wrote that one. It's literally the worst episode ever.
Well, he's writing a
And
lot.
Yeah.
So you gotta give him a break.
I actually kind of liked Rent. I think he wrote The Watch too, which really wasn't like particularly great. But I think Jamie was great in that episode. I think he writes Jamie really, really well. Jamie unfortunately wasn't in The Search, which is why The Search sucked so hard.
No, I agree. I think he wrote a really strong Jamie. I think we've all been saying it for the past 2 episodes. Jamie is back from wherever he was. And I think he did a really great job. It was the Jamie when we do read the books, that's the Jamie we all pictured, and I thought that was really good. Good job, Matt. Good job, Matt. I'm going to call you Matt now. You're welcome.
I think he likes that. I think he likes being called Matt.
I think
I
it's
don't know. what he
Matt.
likes.
I thought it was Matt.
Yeah, I'm
his
calling
name.
him by his first name. Just first name.
Got it. Just Matt.
Matty. Oh, you can call him Matty. He'll probably like that. Probably not.
Yeah, it definitely was a different Jamie. I mean, we haven't seen that enough. In control.
He doesn't back down. Like, I was really anticipating at some point he was going to back down to Dougal a little bit and kind of dreading it. And when it didn't happen, I was aroused. I was like, yay! It didn't happen. It makes it worth watching. Like, when Jamie is awesome, it makes the whole show worth watching. Because it's the same thing when you read the books. When Jamie's awesome in the book, that makes all the rest of the junk that you're reading through to get to Jamie being awesome worth getting to.
It's kind of funny because like the actual content of the show wasn't all that riveting, but he did such a good job being Jamie that like it was good. It was a good episode, a solid episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, okay, let's talk about like the things that made him great. Because for me, you know, he could have done some other things that would have been not cool. Like, okay, Claire's obviously going through something. He comes to her and talks to her about it and gives her forehead kisses and offers, you know, comfort, and that's wonderful. And then he's still recognizing it while he's in the midst of like having to train these men. So he's in like the stressful position of being like the military leader, the guy, and yet he has an eye out for the fact that Claire's just sitting by this witch's cauldron stirring her brew and not particularly happy about it. And so you just feel like he is aware and he's like, I don't know, this good, you know, conscientious husband instead of being kind of aloof, which he has been at other times. He's been more concerned with what's going on around him and not her. Thoughts?
I was thinking, I'm not really having a thought about what you just said there, but I agree. But I was thinking about when I was watching this episode, how odd it would have been to see him playing. I mean, how old is he now? In the books, 24, 25?
Close,
right?
Yeah. 20, 24 maybe.
And I think they've aged him, right? They never really talk about his age. We just assume he's older.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
like he's
yeah,
you know, barely college age. Yeah.
Like, because he doesn't, I can't imagine if they were playing, like, they really were trying to have him be believable at 24. Like, even thinking about the books, like, that's just not how you see a man. You don't think of a 24-year-old kid, man.
Well, I think the difference is back then, men came into their own a lot faster, and your position kind of made you who you were. You know, if you were a duke or whatever at age 18, you had more, you know, gravitas in society than you did if somebody else that might have been 44 that had no title. So he's got that on his back. I don't think being 24 and being a laird and being like the head of the clansmen that are there is that unusual. It's that unusual that he's like fully, I think, in charge, and he's the only one with soldiering experience, and he's got more experience really than even Dougal, who spends most of his time doing like cattle raids. So it was interesting to see that aspect, because I don't think the show's really put out that much about him being worldly. You know, you kind of assume that he's just this like Scottish kid, and he's got like all this world experience from being in France and stuff. So
was this the first time we heard about him being a soldier too in France? We knew he went to France earlier, but this was the first time in the show that they mentioned he was a soldier. And so I thought that was, you know, when he started talking about that and then talking about the experiences, seeing the men march, and he laughed, but then the first shot, you know, and I thought that was fantastic. I thought that the writing was on point. Everything that we've been talking about, like when the writing comes on point and the acting comes on point, it's fantastic. And that scene when he was talking about it was an excellent piece of writing, an excellent piece of acting. So
you mean his speech?
Yeah, the speech.
Yeah.
The Braveheart speech, essentially. That at first I was like, oh God, it's going to be like Braveheart, and he's going to be screaming for freedom. And I think I tweeted that William Wallace was going to come running through. And
but it was so much better than that, because he didn't have to do that.
No, he didn't. So, and it was great.
He was commanding without having to be bombastic and loud, and he was funny, and he had them, you know, he had their attention, and he was just. Jamie is charismatic, and you don't really necessarily see that all the time. It's fun to see him be, because I think in France, the beginning of this season, he's been like kind of bumbling around. They had their plan was so dumb. I was like, Jamie was almost aware of how dumb it was, and so he's just kind of like going through the motions. And so like the comp and other people like just be a little bit more together than he is. He always seems like he's playing second fiddle to somebody like the comp in the first part of the season. So it was awesome to see him no longer playing second fiddle, but being in charge. Large and in charge.
We have some really great comments. Brianne Stewart said it was an awesome episode. It was season 1 Jamp meets Braveheart. Claudia Fitzer B Mama said that was Jamie from season 1, episodes 1 through 4 again. And there was another one that I'm missing, but had all these descriptors of who Jamie was, and it was awesome. And I can't. Oh yeah, here it is. It was Claudia again. Sensitive, strong, kind, funny, confident, funny. Had all of the above.
Yes, one of the things that I think that Jamie needs all the time is a little bit of levity. like, even if it's just a moment in the episode where he's, like in this moment where he's smirking at Myrta over, Fergus complaining about him or whatever, he needs that. He needs to have some fun. And there was a lot of fun in this episode for him. It makes a huge difference. I mean, because I think in the beginning of this season, when Claire is telling Mrs. Graham that, like, they had to laugh about it afterwards, and one of the complaints was, thank you so much for telling us that y'all ever enjoyed each other's company, because so far, you never see them really, like, just laughing and having a good time. So, yay for real Jamie.
A couple people were asking if Nikki was at the Paley Fest thing, and sadly, we had invitations, and we could have been there covering this, but she was not able to make it. We need to have more people on our team from New York and LA that are Outlander, because our Outlander team is not close to the centers of places where the opportunities are. So, sadly, we are not there tonight.
Actually, they invited us, and we were like, bitches, that's Hang Outlander night.
Exactly.
We have nothing to do.
Right, exactly. I'm sorry. I wasn't being bitchy, but.
That's not really what we said.
No, not at all.
It has something to do. So let's talk about Claire in this episode. We've talked about Jamie a lot. What did you guys think of the PTSD storyline and addition, I guess, into what's considered canon?
Right.
I think it fit the canon. It made sense that she would have PTSD. I think it was done very well and accurately, as far as I can tell. And I didn't love it because I felt like it didn't fit. It felt sudden to me, and I feel like we would have seen it. I understand that bringing in that military confinement or whatever is what brought back the memories, but she has been through so much that I had a hard time believing that it would have taken that to bring it back. I think it would have happened while she was in the hole, after the witch trials, or, I don't know, almost raped a million times. Like, there's lots of reasons for her to have PTSD.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little bit like, oh, suddenly Claire has this thing when she's been, like, so strong and, like, able to deal with her problems. But it was a great thing, and I'm glad that it worked. I just wish that they had built it up a little bit more. If they're going to do it now from here on out and talk about it, and it's just like a now part of the story, great. I just have a feeling they're not. I have a feeling we're not going to ever worry about her PTSD ever again.
Especially if she goes more into the battle at Culloden. That needs to be reintroduced, because just one episode and her just talking to Jamie is not going to be like, okay, that was it, we're done. Whew, I'm so glad we talked about that, because now I'm cured of it.
Right.
And I agree, Becca. Like, at first I was like, oh, this is a great addition. And then I just started, like you're saying, you go back to all the episodes and you start going, how come you didn't have it when you were being attacked by Jack Randall? How come you didn't have, like, or at least have it flare up again, or at least have a moment where it comes out again? How come you didn't have it when you traveled back in time and you started to panic? Why didn't you have, all of these moments? So if they continue with it or have little bits and pieces, I agree. I think, okay, but if they stop, then it's nothing.
I think they'll stop. I think it won't be it again, because they're not going to keep doing World War II flashbacks. Well, it's just they're going to keep, not in that way. I don't think, not where it's just like affecting her.
And didn't read. I think it was, maybe I read. I can't remember, because I read one article about it, and then I did, like, have the Ron and Matt Roberts, I think that was him, talking about it in the background, like, and I wasn't really paying attention, but I heard a couple things, and they talked about just how, or maybe I read this part, I can't remember, that he pitched the idea because they were like, we never get to see World War II and what she went through, and let's do it here because we're not yet ready to go to the battle. And I thought that was so typical of Outlander. Oh, we're not ready to move the plot forward, so we need to do something. Anyone have any ideas? And this was the idea, and so they did it. And that's what it felt like. And when I heard them say that, I was like, okay, that's why they did it. Because they need to fill another episode, because they have to do 12, and they're not ready in the story to go to Culloden.
Yeah. Teresa has a really good point. She said for the PTSD, I think, Teresa, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, she says, I think the loss of faith was what brought all her emotions to the surface. And so with the loss of faith, it was like she kind of tamped everything down. And I understand what she's saying right there. That's a good point. Well played, Teresa. And then it was she's raw, she's emotional, so it's opened up. So that's a good explanation.
But is it just me, or like in the books, when you're reading the books, don't you get that sense that Claire is like, when she's on the battlefield in all the wars that she goes through these 8 books, she's like large and in charge. She's like, I'm the one with the 20th century, medicine. I know how to deal with all this stuff. She always seems so confident in her ability to be a nurse and her ideas of like warfare, but then it just kind of threw off who Claire was to me just by reading the books. I felt it was more of a departure to how I see Claire than even last week's jump the shark moment. So
I think that the difference is this particular episode contained in itself, she's not doing anything. She really is just like, looks like she's making some medicine salves for for future use, and she's just like, she doesn't have like a whole lot going on. In the midst of like Prest, which is going to be next week, and other stuff, she's going to be fixing bones and doing stuff, and so she's constantly like moving, and so maybe the idea that she's not sitting with her thoughts or let it like trauma kind of like invading her space is not as easily done when she's active. And during this stretch of time where Jamie's training these men, she's not particularly active. She's just there. And so the combination of like having just lost her baby and being raw, and then realizing they're having to go to war, and that these are men that she cares about that are going to war, on top of the fact that she doesn't have anything to do, really, she's not being very useful, it allowed that to have space to grow. That's how I kind of thought that it worked.
Right.
There's a lot of really great comments. I'm retweeting them as I see them come in, but a lot of you guys definitely loved it and thought that, I think everybody would agree from what I'm reading, that it worked and she did a really great job. And I definitely would agree with that too. Like, it makes so much sense that it would happen and that she has PTSD. Like, I am not surprised. She should, for many reasons. I don't actually know that war is the one that would be the worst of all of them. Because she's had some things that have actually happened so physically to her, too. I think, there's just a couple other comments about how somebody said something. Oh, here, Claire's PTSD is going to be a 90210 Melrose Place problem. Serious, but over in one episode. And that is, again, maybe they're going to totally prove me wrong, but I just think they're not. And then, to me, that's just like something they just threw in because they had to fill an episode, and I don't like that.
Yeah, but I think the TV just kind of works like that a lot of times.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes stuff really, spreads out and it's got a long arc. But a lot of times it just doesn't, and it's just they're having, they have to kind of figure out how to deal with all in 1 hour of TV and not carry it forward. So right. I was okay with it. I really was. Like, I think as an hour, like if you were introducing somebody to Outlander, I'd give them the last like 2 to 3 episodes and say, watch these. And, and I think that they'd be at the very least entertained enough not to like, why are you making me watch this thing where there's some lady talking for 15 minutes and telling me what's going on? So I was down with it. Let's talk about something else, though.
Well, Heidi Rochelle just said she would like a whole entire show of Claire in World War II. That actually would be really great. She's beautiful in that time era. She should do a movie set in World War II.
She is. She's very classic.
Very.
Let's talk about Lord John Grey's introduction, because there were lots of really strange comments, like on the blog and stuff. People were complaining that he wasn't cute and didn't look like Lord John Grey, and I was like, he's 16. I'm sure he'll eventually come into his adorableness. But he's a big character. If you're not a book reader, he's someone who has his own spin-off series, and if you are a book reader, it's a memorable moment. I absolutely loved the fact that they changed this up from the way it happens in the books. In the books, Jamie rips Claire's bodice open, and it's a little bit more assaulty, and it's his idea instead of hers. And this change, this was one, like, it's like in a big check column. Like, you made it less rapey! Yay!
It happened. It finally happened.
And we would like to remind you all, should you have gotten this far into Hang Outlander, that there's a big old rapey scene in season 3 that you can make not rapey at all. Geneva. Don't make it rapey at all.
Let's not like call into question that. Yeah. Yeah.
It made me so happy. I was so happy, and that scene was hilarious instead of being like traumatic, which it could have been. It was great.
Agreed. It was one of my favorite parts of the episode.
Speaking of Lord Grey, you know what I mean. The wine is almost gone, so the conversation is not happening anymore. My words aren't working. I don't have the good words right now. Chulalu, Anna wants us to talk about this article from the Hollywood Reporter where it's interviewing, I guess, Ron and Matt Roberts, and they talk about potential spin-offs of the series. And she wants us to discuss which potential spin-offs we would be in favor of, because obviously they're mentioning Lord John Grey here. What is his name? Am I saying it right?
It's John Grey, yeah.
Okay, John Grey. Isn't there a William in there somehow?
He's William John Bertram Grey.
Too many names. There's that, because there's actually spin-off books, or there's the novellas. I don't think it says anything else. Hold on. Spin-off, mirror the books. They're talking about whether it's Lord John or Blackjack. They're just talking about how there's lots of material. You could probably do 10 series and fans would watch it all.
I wouldn't want a series of Blackjack, Randall. That's just...
Yeah, because you're gonna have to have some sort of sympathy for him, right? They're gonna have to show some side of him that explains why he is the way he is.
Exactly.
I'd like to see a British comedy about Mrs. Baird's bed and breakfast. I think that'd be really interesting.
I think it's funny. Has anyone read the spin-off books?
The novellas?
No,
I haven't. Yeah, I haven't read any of them. I would not watch that show.
I would watch something about I would definitely watch something about Frank time in World War II.
Yeah, I think there could be a Frank and Claire being apart and like a couple times, like their relationship. I think would be really interesting.
I mean, he was like MI6 or whatever. He was like, killing Nazis. Like,
we'd have to start Tobias though. We can recast Claire.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna revoke my last statement. It depends on who plays who.
Well,
we talked earlier today who might be cast as Lord John Grey, and it would just depend on who they cast.
Sure, it would have to be somebody awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
who do you want to be cast, Tiff?
I love Rupert Friend. We were talking about that earlier today.
Who is it?
Rupert Friend.
I don't even know who he is.
He's Keira Knightley's husband. Are they married?
Yeah.
He's Quinn on Homeland.
I don't watch that, but yes, I know who you're talking about.
In Pride and Prejudice. He plays Mr. Willoughby in Pride and Prejudice.
Mm-hmm. He's a lot older than her, right?
Not Mr. Willoughby.
No, I don't think he's that old.
What's his name? Why can't I think of his name? It's not Willoughby. That's from Sense and Sensibility. Wickham.
Mr. Wickham.
And he plays Wickham in Pride and Prejudice, and he's in The Young Victoria. He plays Albert in The Young Victoria. He looks a little bit like Orlando Bloom.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be okay with that.
Me too. He's adorable. He's super cute. There's a lot of cute British actors though. Then he's getting kind of old.
He's not that old. Somebody look it up. How old is he?
I think he's like older than her. I mean, maybe they've been together forever, and when she was a lot younger when they started dating or something. Yeah. There's some funny things coming in. Anna said, "What do we want? Consensual sex with Geneva. When do we want it? Season 3." Kendra says it's going to be so much fun when the Jamie apologists come crawling out of the woodwork. Just wait, TV show watchers, non-book readers, just wait.
No, I can't. All they have to do is take out one word, one or two phrases. Just don't put them in there that she never said that, and it's fine. The whole thing's fine the way it is.
Yeah.
I think we should talk about other spin-off ideas. I would watch a show about Fiona, who we haven't even met yet. I think she's hilarious.
I like her too.
Cast Amelia Clark as Fiona. Yeah. Cleaning the manse. Roger and Fiona's.
That would be awesome.
Pictures in the manse.
What about like Roger and Bree? You hate them.
Mm-mm.
You wouldn't watch that.
No. No.
I'd watch
Why
a
do
show
you
like
hate
Tom.
him?
I don't think Roger's very likable in the books.
I like him.
I do too, but I think like looking back, I'm like, I don't know if I like him that much. But I hope he is really likable on the show.
What about the young Mother Hildegard, Sister Hildegard?
Yeah, I want
Sister
to.
leaves.
I just wanna-
Sister Hildegard solves
Bullshit.
mysteries.
Like
With that
murder.
dog. She takes
Yeah.
the dog.
Yeah.
Tom.
The original
Watch that.
Scooby-Doo.
Yeah,
She
exactly.
comes across all these famous people, like, she fights crime with Bach.
She meets to Louise Lautrec before he's born and figures out the syndrome and then tells Claire what it is later on.
Yep. She
No,
fixes
you
it.
guys, remember, she has to meet Carlisle Cullen.
That's right.
Yes, and
Right.
a Twilight Outlander crossover.
Yeah.
That's right. I want.
Carlisle is where right now? Romania? Is he in France at this point?
I don't know. He's in Italy. He's in the Vatican.
For like couple hundred years.
He's in Montepulciano.
Oh, man.
I like how, for the second time tonight, we have turned it back to Twilight.
Of course. We got a whole group of just that's normal people. What else is gonna happen?
What else are we gonna do?
Oh, God.
Guys, when they were filming in Montepulciano, I was on such a Twilight high. That was like the nadir of my like Twilight. Like that's where I figured it out, and I absorbed
Wasn't
everything.
it streaming live somehow?
I think some of it was, yeah.
Yes, because I remember seeing her run through the crowd,
Mm-hmm.
and then we saw his like body. Some paparazzi must have done it. Done a
Yeah.
stream or something. Because I remember sitting at work watching them film that scene.
But I think it was after the pictures came out, because the first thing you saw was him with all the dots on, so they
Yeah,
could get
that's
the
right.
sparkles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his contoured abs.
Right.
Mhm.
Painted on. Yeah. Some Kardashian
Guys.
stuff.
That was
Oh,
a good
we should
time.
do that for filming in a square in Scotland.
Like
The
with the
live
dots on
stream
Sam
of-
Heughan's like face, so they could put in a digital beard.
Yes. You've got a digital beard.
When he moves too fast, it like stays over there.
Like a Snapchat. Right. If they can make me beautiful cat wing eyes on Snapchat this week, then we're
If we could put Sam Heughan in a Stetson hat, we could put a beard on that man.
Oh.
A Jamie Fraser Snapchat filter would be great.
Remember, we did this face swaps that one time.
That's
Totally.
right.
Those are never good.
My nephew looks really cute as Sam Heughan.
I looked right.
Laura Sue VT wants us to talk about the only uprising they managed to stop, the one in Jamie's pants.
What a perfect time for them to have put the waterweed scene in there. You know that we missed it. You know that you didn't give it to us. Here
Right.
he is coming back from another raid. He's all success drunk. He's got to have a brass rod cock stand. You know he does.
Mhm.
Let him just say waterweed. Just do it.
Do
It
it.
would have been a great waterweed moment. Is my one complaint about this episode. That
Yeah.
and Claire going crazy about Narcissus. That was dumb.
Oh,
yeah.
that was ridiculous. It was like, how do you ruin an insult? You explain it. That's like
Yes.
a joke. How do you ruin a joke? You have to explain.
That makes no sense why they explained what narcissist means.
No, none at all. Like, who gives a lecture on their shade that they're
Also, it's
throwing?
not a hard word. Everybody knows what that means.
I mean, maybe he wouldn't have known. Maybe he didn't. He wasn't,
So
schooled in Greek mythology. But it didn't matter. He
I
doesn't
don't think
know.
about the Greek mythology when I know about that word. Like, you know what I mean? Oh.
Oh man, hold
I'm
on,
so
my
annoyed.
kid's about to make a mess.
She also used the word sadist again.
Oh,
And she kind of looked at Sam like, or she looked at Jamie, sorry. She looked at Jamie and she was like, you're a sadist. And you the men are like, what's that? And Jamie's like, I know. I had to be explained.
I don't know if you guys talked about this last week because I can't remember when the news came out, but Diane Anderson wants us to talk about the season's announcement. Is that
Oh yeah.
new
It
news
happened.
this week?
It happened the day after we had.
Okay. So she just said, are we surprised that there's just one season for Voyager? Are they going to have to trim a lot because Voyager is huge? Overall, obviously, Julie talked about it this week on That's Normal, or last Friday. Oh, yeah, so it was last week. Some reactions, said some really great posts. We'll link it down below. I like how I'm like totally a YouTuber. I'm not at all. And there's some really great reactions, many of which for our team was just like, oh, okay. Obviously, nobody was surprised that we're doing a season 3. Nobody's surprised it's going to be about Voyager. I didn't think, I can't remember who just, Diana, yeah. I didn't think that they were going to split Voyager. I didn't think they would do season 4 already.
Yeah, I was surprised about season 4. I don't think Voyager needs to be split up. There's not 2 specific stories in Voyager. Now there's Claire searching for Jamie, trying to get back, and there's what happens when she does. So I just don't think that yes, it's long, but they're all really long, and there's a lot cut out of all of them.
Right.
Yeah. So
details that they can leave out.
Yeah. I think it'll be hard to adapt just because it's got to be big. I mean, are they going to do a crossover with Black Sails? I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, lots of locations.
Yeah.
That would actually be great. Or with Power, the other show, with 50 Cent.
With American Gods
and Experience.
Ray Donovan.
The girlfriend.
No, that's because
yeah, I think I always kind of envisioned. I guess I envisioned that they would do a 4th season, but it wouldn't be good.
Right.
I think it's just gonna go. I know. That's what I thought. So, or I thought that it wouldn't get renewed by the end of season 3 or something. Like something wouldn't be working anymore because it just gets harder and harder. And honestly, the story gets less interesting. Doesn't mean that there's not a story there, but I do not think we're not talking about Scotland anymore. We're talking about a whole new thing. We're building up slowly to a new conflict, and I just don't know if there's enough there to follow the books. Yes, you could use these characters and create new stories.
My thing, and I didn't put this in the post, was that in those books, they're going to America at a time when America was not at its best. We're talking about a new America, but we're also talking about we're talking about slavery, we're talking about Claire. I'm sorry if I'm spoiling it for anybody, so I'm going to say this, but doesn't she accidentally buy a slave? Like, isn't that where she?
Yes.
So I mean, we're going to be diving into where if they go with going out of Scotland and going there. You're dealing with issues that are just really, really sensitive, especially in a time like this. So,
there's a couple things Anna says here. Trim the hell out of Voyager. # no Willoughby. # less time at sea. # no weird priests with dead wives' dresses. There's things there that obviously fans would love to see because we know them from the books, but they're also like not important and vital to the story.
There's plenty of things I don't care to see as well. Yeah. And when I read the books, there's plenty of things that I was like, boring. Don't skip this part. Sorry, everyone.
There's a couple of things I want to see. We can all talk about them. They're super spoilery, but we need turtle soup. We need the print shop.
Mm-hmm.
We need that one sex scene that gets interrupted in the middle of the book that actually made me throw the book. Literally made me throw the book. I hadn't thrown a book before.
I don't remember what you're referring to.
Somebody walks in on them. Somebody walks in on them. And then there's a revelation after.
Yeah. Or somebody. We can't say who it is, but yes.
Somebody walks in on them and says.
Tell me after.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna try. Yeah. You're gonna like what I just said, but don't respond to that.
That's kind of it for me. Like other than that, I'm like, okay, then I don't need anything else. I don't need 100 years in the Dunbonnet cave. I don't need to see all of that.
Oh my gosh. For real.
So I don't need to talk about how Claire has to bring oranges and spinach on the boat so they don't get scurvy.
How Claire packs her peanut butter sandwiches to go through the stones.
Right. The making of whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know when that.
No, we don't need that.
Yeah.
We don't need that.
But I'm super excited about season 3. Look at my face.
All of our
I'm
faces.
excited.
Yay!
It's gonna be
I
fun.
think that I honestly think even if the show isn't like if we think it's going downhill, I think there'll still be a viewership for it, and Stars will just keep going as long as it's making money and people are watching. It's #1, right, in their network?
Probably.
Yeah.
But I think that people, I think they were totally right when they said we could have 10 spin-offs and the fans would watch it. They're 100% right. Like that. Yes, you're right. And that doesn't necessarily mean that's what they need to do. And I don't really want them going on 9 seasons.
Yeah.
Because like my favorite shows, they go past 4. You're like, oh god, I'm watching still.
That's the thing, and the fact that they're moving to Sunday nights, and we've talked about this this notion of there's so much good television. Sunday nights are the prime time to watch TV. You have Game of Thrones, you have Penny Dreadful, you have Walking Dead, you have all of these shows that people, and then and then football season starts and all hell breaks loose. Your son, that. And honestly, but I was thinking about this, like, it doesn't matter what they do. They're renewed for 2 more seasons. So
yeah.
Well, let's be honest. If it's going to be on a Sunday night, they're going to make it available to the fans by, like, Tuesday at 4 p.m.
Yeah.
They love to do that.
We do not understand why the episode is always available before it airs. Like, it just doesn't make any sense from marketing.
You understand when Game of Thrones is coming on, I'm, like, waiting by my TV, like, come on, I can't wait. I'm thinking about it all day. I'm hyped for it. I'm tweeting about it. But I'm like, oh, Outlander's on. Oh, everyone's already seen it.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no conversation to be a part of because the conversations have already been had.
Right. And except, like, we're, like, embargoed. You can't actually post your review until 10 p.m. Eastern time that night when it's been literally last week it was available on Thursday.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. In fact, when I wrote, I did not watch the episode until Saturday morning and wrote my recap and had it ready by, like noon or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I thought, the entire readership of this has seen the episode 5 times by now. Right. And it's just silly. It's silly. There's no conversation around it. I don't know how they ever get trending or anything like that because that's not how it works.
They're really not, it seems like they just don't care about the tweet. They don't care about social media. Like, they do a lot on there, but the time that it's airing, it's not like, it could be, trending on Twitter, like Game of Thrones is every single week. But it will
trend. It will trend, and they do care, but it's all the people that are talking about it have already seen it. So all the tweets are real disingenuous. Nothing is shocking. Nobody's like actually tweeting their thoughts. They're tweeting, I love this part. And like you've already seen it 8 times.
You can memorize it, yeah.
Right. It has no real like genuine reaction. It's not reactionary.
Yeah.
And so it's just lame. So they might trend, but it's not the same type of trending, and it's certainly not a conversation.
Yeah.
And the fact that the last episode, they just announced a few days ago, I think, that the last episode will be, 90 minutes long? Are they going to release that, really? Are they, just like they did the last time? So
you actually read that press release?
So, what?
That press release came out today. You actually read that? I only read the headline.
No, it was, I just looked at the title. Maybe I read it. Just leave me alone.
You did, but the title, I don't think said that, unless I literally read the 2 first words, July 9th.
It was not just the press release. It was already out all over social media.
I think you told us that last week, Beth.
Yeah.
I know, but they just sent out a release today, which I thought was really strange because it was out last week.
And that's the thing. There's just no element of surprise anymore with this show. And whereas, Game of Thrones, there was that element of surprise, and then everybody the next day is talking about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I feel like Outlander, maybe that's not their priority. Maybe
it's a different show, though. Like Game of Thrones is a little bit more, I don't know.
Well, I mean, like, okay.
It's a completely different show.
Outlander is like a warm bath. And some of these other shows, the way that you experience them, it's like a cold shower. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're just like, oh, my God. Like, I talk about the show all the time. Penny Dreadful, the end of every single episode is a huge shock moment. Like at the end of every episode, you're like, oh my God, every week. And so every week on social media, everybody is like, oh my God, at the same time. That's important. Outlander doesn't have that. They're just like slipping into a warm bath, and then you're just like, that was lovely, or, you know, oh, that was sad. And you just have this reaction that's just kind of mellow and not, it's not this burst of cold water. It's not like somebody hit you with a hose.
Right. No, I agree. And that's what, like, the first season had that, because the first season didn't release new episodes until the day of, right? I mean, it was only into the day, like, the Saturday, right?
I want to say that at least in the second half of it, they were releasing the episodes at like midnight on Saturday, so you got it for 24 hours.
I think they did the whole season.
Right.
I don't think it was the first half of the season.
But there was still that element of, okay, you know, I'm going to watch it live. But this year, it's just with releasing it on what? Doesn't it get released on a Thursday?
Not usually. Usually it's like Friday at midnight.
Right. So
this week it was Thursday for some reason. I mean, what was the reason?
It was
I don't even know.
because it was World Outlander Day, and they wanted to give it to them. It was like a surprise for the fans.
Oh, thank you, Outlander.
Thank you. Okay, we need to wrap up because I want to go watch The Girlfriend Experience, and Tiffany needs to watch The Bachelor. She's got 4 hours of The Bachelor tonight.
No, 2 hours tonight, 2 hours tomorrow.
Oh my gosh. I thought it was like making that up.
Yeah.
That's insane. I'm so glad that Heidi recaps what's us for us. If you guys don't read anything on That's Normal except for Outlander stuff, you're missing out. I think our best thing that we do, and by we, I mean Heidi, is our Bachelor recaps. You can hate it. I know everybody hates The Bachelor. It's a cool thing to do, but they're hilarious. I don't watch the show. I've seen a couple seasons here or there over the years, and they are the best recaps, so make sure you don't miss those. We need to announce our winner of the Outlander Kitchen Cookbook so that she can make the veal patties in wine sauce this weekend for a loved one. Actually, that means I have to mail it tomorrow, so that may not happen. Maybe next weekend. We are giving this away to Claudia Fitz. What is it?
Fitzherb Mama.
Fitzherb B Mama. Congratulations.
Yay!
Yay!
Shoot us a direct message and we will get your book out to you. Any last thoughts, ladies?
This is my favorite episode so far.
Ever?
You say that every week.
Because I think the last 3 episodes have been good. They've gotten better.
I agree.
I didn't say that about episodes 2 through 6.
I know.
But this one was good. I was happy with it. I hope I'm happy with it next week.
Solid episode.
I hope the rest of the season just keeps going on up so that we have plenty to excite, you know, other people that don't really aren't going to watch the show just to watch it for the next season. That's what I'm excited about. More seasons of Outlander, more Jamie.
More hot
Jamie and Trues, Jamie and Breeches.
Old Lady Jamie and Claire.
Jamie with the Dunbonnet.
Oh,
Jamie and Mary McNabb. Jamie and Lord John. Threesomes with Claire and Lord John and somebody else.
Oh, God. Okay. Speaking of threesomes, I'm going to go watch my new favorite show.
Okay.
All right.
All right, guys. Good night. Thanks for watching.
See you next week.